Ever since the pandemic started, so many countries had closed their borders, and it has been very hard on travel lovers. But these are the lists of countries you may enjoy traveling to during this travel-restricted time. Number 10. Croatia. With more than 1,200 islands and islets, Croatia is known as having some of the prettiest beaches in Europe, perfect for holidays. With ancient Roman ruins, castles and secluded coves, the country is now open to all. However, travelers from Cyprus, India, Russia and United Kingdom must present a negative PCR test, taken within 48 hours before entering the country. Those who have been fully vaccinated, the final dose must be administered at least 14 days before arrival, and those who have recovered from the coronavirus infection are now welcome to visit Croatia. Those who can produce a negative COVID-19 PCR test result, not be older than 72 hours and the RAT test result, not older than 48 hours, are also welcome. Number 9. Egypt. The great land of mummies and monuments, pharaohs and pyramids, is a treasure trove for adventure seekers and casual tourists alike. Currently, there are no countries barred from entering Egypt. All incoming travelers arriving in the country from abroad need to fill in a health declaration form for Egypt. Unvaccinated travelers must submit a negative RT-PCR test report, taken at a maximum of 72 hours before their flight departure time. Fully vaccinated passengers are exempted from testing and quarantine requirements. Number 8. Estonia. The country welcomes travelers from any place of the world with no restrictions, no testing, no isolation requirements. If you are fully vaccinated, and not more than 12 months have passed. If not fully vaccinated, still no restrictions coming from Europe for tourism purposes. If at least one of these conditions had been fulfilled, you have suffered from COVID-19, received at least one dose of vaccine and not more than 12 months have passed. You suffered from COVID-19, declared healthy and not more than 6 months have passed. Unvaccinated travelers must quarantine themselves for 10 days. Currently, the coronavirus infection rates have been constantly low. There are no restrictions on services and tourism attractions, and you are welcome to enjoy Mediterranean temperatures, combined with refreshing swimming in the sea. Number 7. France. Picturesque lavender fields, iconic monuments and buildings, fairy tale castles and scenic villages, easily makes France one of the most visited tourist spots in the world. If you are vaccinated, you can now travel to France with no quarantine restrictions. Vaccinated travelers can once again pay a visit to the Louvre, the Palace of Versailles, wine regions, beaches and numerous other attractions in France, upon presenting their fully vaccinated status at the airport and availing a health pass. However, unvaccinated arrivals may or may not be required to quarantine, depending on their country of origin. Number 6. Ireland. Ireland has green fields and moss-covered walls that seem impossibly vibrant, quiet lakes, and hilltop walks that will clear the cobwebs from the foggiest mind. Ireland is a place to visit not only for its beauty and history, but because of its lively atmosphere. The country is now open to leisure travel and tourists worldwide. You will have to fill out a passenger locator form before departure, All arrivals must have their appropriate valid proof of vaccination or recovery, or present evidence of a negative RT-PCR result from a test taken within 72 hours prior to arrival into the country. Number 5. Maldives, another famous archipelago in the Indian Ocean, this one known for idyllic, laid-back, luxury vacations. Maldives has ambitious plans of vaccinating visitors once its resident population is immunized. As of now, the scattered country is receiving travelers, without asking those vaccinated to quarantine, provided they are traveling to an island where 60% of the population is fully vaccinated. A negative PCR certificate issued not more than 96 hours prior to departure is still requisite for all unvaccinated passengers. Passengers must complete a traveler health declaration 24 hours before departure. The government is primarily relying on the fact that guests usually prefer to lounge and relax in their private overwater huts and villas. Nonetheless, most of the islands can be visited. Number 4. Mauritius. Embellished by exceptional landscapes and idyllic beaches, Mauritius provides the best means to chase the winter blues away. The country's borders are now open to international travelers for the first time in 16 months. Fully vaccinated visitors may opt to stay in any of the available 14 resort bubbles, where they will be allowed to immerse in all the offered facilities, including the pool, and explore the beaches. These hotels are already listed on the Mauritius tourism website. For visitors to choose from when they book their stay, you will have to fill a health self-declaration form and the passenger locator form at your respective airport in the country. Number 3. Seychelles. Keen on reviving its mainstay, the tourism sector, this jaw-dropping, beautiful archipelago off the coast of Africa has started welcoming visitors from every part of the world, as long as they have had a negative PCR test performed within 72 hours of departure. No quarantine is required. Travelers will have to obtain a health travel authorization, have travel insurance that covers COVID-19 related care. Most places of tourist interest, beaches, nature trails, cultural attractions such as the Botanical Gardens, Mission Lodge and Victoria Market are all accessible to tourists, albeit with new protocols and time of operation. To avoid any disappointments, it is recommended that you contact these establishments before visiting. Number 2. Switzerland. Gorgeous landscapes studded by majestic castles, surrounded by stunning picturesque lakes, and not to forget the delicious Swiss chocolates. Switzerland is a country loved by holiday seekers and all travelers alike. The country's borders are now open to international travelers for all. It is mandatory for all incoming travelers to fill the entry form prior to departure. There is currently no quarantine obligation for people entering Switzerland. If you are not fully vaccinated, you will have to submit a negative PCR test performed within 72 hours of departure. People who are fully vaccinated are exempted from any health-related measures at the border. You do not have to social distance or wear a mask at private gatherings with other fully vaccinated people. Number 1. Turkey. The fairy tale land with ornate chapels and green hills, turquoise lagoons and beaches, lively resorts and quaint little villages, is now open to travelers from most countries. Anyone can travel to Turkey right now, but travelers who have been in Bangladesh, Brazil, South Africa, Nepal, or Sri Lanka must present a negative PCR test result that was obtained within 72 hours prior to arrival, regardless of vaccination status. All travelers must submit a Turkey entrance form, within 72 hours before travel, and may be subject to PCR testing on arrival in Turkey. Vaccinated travelers who have been vaccinated at least 14 days before their arrival in Turkey can skip testing and quarantine.